Welcome back to Invasive Brews, everybody. I got some news for you. We just bought a new house, and I am basically starting from scratch on this house. I mean, this house that I'm at right now that I'm getting ready to sell, I've put in several years of work of planting native plants, my garden, stuff like that. So I am in the process of moving all of my garden, my above ground garden stuff, over to the new house. It's within walking distance, so that's kind of nice. It's close enough where I can walk and don't need a trailer, but far enough away where it's starting to get heavy and I'm getting tired. But I want you to tag along on this journey of kind of transitioning on a new landscape. That way you can do this on your own landscape. Since I'm starting bare dirt on the whole backyard, the front yard doesn't have any plants in this new house. So I am going to kind of make an invasive brews yard from scratch. And I want you to join me on this journey. So sorry, it's pretty windy out here. So first things first, we got to get everything over to that other house, starting with all that stuff. All right, so there were some volunteer potatoes from last year's harvest. I didn't get them all. So I am going to try to save as many as I can. But I got to get all that dirt out and get these two tanks still going over. I don't want to buy all new dirt. So, like I said, it is within walking distance, so I am wheelbarrowing the dirt over load by load. Who said gardeners are weak? Most people pay for this kind of exercise. If you want to help, come on over. Last tank is going over. All the dirt's been moved. I am gonna miss my stand of common milkweed though. The monarchs love this. That took a long time to get established. Alright, so I got all of my totes and all the dirt moved over. There's Hazel, she's inspecting my work. But last night it rained like crazy and it buried my cart in the mud. So now I gotta get that out and get this last one put in. Gonna put a lawn shed back there. And so now my job is to put new and more fertile soil on the top of these and put my garden plants in. That's my first priority before I start putting in native plants and before I start putting in flower gardens. So that is my next project, so stay tuned. So an opportunity presented itself. I had an old hay bale here that I put in this tank here that has a big hole in the bottom, and I'm definitely not going to feed it to the horses, so I'm going to put it in this tank. I'm going to bury it and plant stuff over the top of it. And not only will it kind of retain water, help retain water in this area, and this will make a kind of an aquifer or a reservoir, but it'll also slowly release nutrients as it decomposes. So, free fertilizer, cheap tank space, less dirt, saving money. So the science experiment time. What will happen to this hay bale over one growing season if I plant some garden plants over it? So as you can see, there is no backyard. It's all weeds. So the plan is to do a yard back there, garden shed, gardens, and native plants. So, and what new yard wouldn't be complete without a brand new lawn shed? So we're gonna put that in this afternoon. It's not very pretty, but I didn't have enough bricks to go all the way around it twice. It's not level. I need to level it a little bit more. I did the two sides. The bricks are basically there to keep the dogs from digging underneath it, but we will see if it works. Okay, so next part of my project is I'm going to dig out some of the native plants that I've spent several years putting in. I mean, if you can see this, there is a lot of native milkweed in there for my monarch sanctuary. So that's gonna take a while to reestablish. I'm still trying to figure out where I can put a monarch sanctuary. But I have purple coneflowers dug up. I have another bucket over here with a volunteer green ash. That is a native tree here. Not gonna plant that in my yard, but just wanted to cultivate it. But in this tote or bucket, I have my onions that I've been using to grow for garden seeds. I'm taking those in. I got another little green ash in there. I got some sunflowers. But I have some other plants in here that I'm going to relocate, dig up, put in a bucket of water. So, but also I have some parsley here that is good for seed collecting and starting from my classes. And also the swallowtails love parsley and dill and all those of that family, the carrot family. So I'm going to transfer that as well. I'm kind of trying to race the weather here. But yeah, that non-native Chinese elm is going to probably come out on this new property. Yes, I bought the house directly next to my old house. So it had a basement, it had a garage, it had a big backyard. I'm getting a new shed, but it also has a little garden area here that I'm getting ready to put in some of those native plants. I think I'm going to make that into a native garden. And yes, another Chinese elm that's going to come out. We are going to make this place a native plant sanctuary. I'm still trying to figure out where to do the monarchs. All of the plants I have to transplant yet. Little apple tree, garden plants that I bought at the FFA plant sale. Those definitely need to get in the ground soon. Black-eyed Susan, my parsley, my onions, my little ash trees. Got a lot of work to do. Okay, so we had some rainstorms, we had some delays. I had state golf, but today's project, or this morning's project, I am putting in little carrot tops that my class kind of saw that they can regrow from just a little piece of carrot. And yeah, carrots aren't native, but I will tell you why I'm doing this in a later video in this series. So that is, this project is to plant these in my little makeshift little flower garden here, along with my purple coneflowers, parsley for seed collecting, zinnias, which we are on the very edge of their native range, some black-eyed Susans, and some other little native plants in here, some prairie onions. So yeah, those are all have been put in, and today we're putting in the carrot tops. So be sure to follow this series and see why I'm putting in carrot tops in my native flower garden. There you go, freshly planted little carrot tops. And no, it's not to get a brand new carrot. You will not get new carrots from these carrot tops. But like I said, pay attention to the series and you'll see the benefits as to why I'm doing this. All kinds of transplanted volunteer sunflowers that were just in the middle of the yard gonna get mowed. I put them in here and they're looking a little better. The storm and the hail didn't do them any justice, but that is the bane of my existence. Invasive bindweed, it's everywhere in this yard. But, strawberry. If you ever have an onion that goes bad in your fridge, don't throw it away. Just plant it like I did there. And sooner or later, you're gonna have plants like this. And this is what I use because when they bloom, they seed out. And they bloom there, blooms. They'll bloom and they'll seed out. And that's what I use to plant my onions. So, a wasted onion there that went bad from the store into plant, into flower that'll eventually flower, and you can see some there. Pollinators love them. There's one little pollinator on there if I can focus. But once those seeds go in, then boom, you get onions for next year's garden. I don't know where my other seeds went. I collected like 200 seeds last year, and only that many I could find. But anyway, free onions. Some yellow squash along with some cucumbers that were planted in here with a random tomato plant volunteer that came up. Random sunflowers that I need to take care of. Lots of potatoes. Potatoes there, tomatoes, peppers, tomato, more potatoes. Lettuce is all ready to harvest, and a native little green ash tree. So that was a volunteer and a transplant, so onions. Okay, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this first episode. I got my building set with some bricks around it. I got my vegetable garden pretty well going. So there'll be updates on that as well in the future videos. I got my seed collecting plants that I transplanted. I got some other plants in the front that I transplanted, including those carrots, which again, pay attention to the next episode because I'll tell you why I put those in. It's not just for seed collecting for future vegetable gardens, but there is a benefit to our local wildlife for those too. So that'll wrap it up for this starting the new house adventure, making it more eco-friendly series. Pay attention to next episode later on this summer. I have a big meeting in Minneapolis with the National Wildlife Federation, so I'll be doing that for the next week. So I'm gonna try to get this video up, and later on in the summer there'll be some other updates, and then I plan on kind of making this yard even better as we live here every year, add more and more, make it more eco-friendly, and supporting our local wildlife. So please stay tuned for the next adventure on this new house, my seed garden, my vegetable garden, and my wildlife areas. But until next time, plant native and drink local.